I've been in jail for 3 years, in custody too many times.
I feel so lonely, and my family also going very away from me.
I gave a lot of problem in my family.
I was like hooked into it, and I was unable to come out of it.
Drugs have been part of our culture since the middle of the last century. Drug addiction is a problem that has been increasing immensely among our society today. People sometimes feel they are too bright, too powerful, too much in control to become addictive. Addiction can trap anyone. It can lead to harming one's body, causing problems in family structure, and contribute to the delinquency in society. Many people do not understand why or how other people become addicted to drugs. It is often mistakenly assumed that drug abusers lack moral principles or willpower, and that they could stop using drugs simply by choosing to change their behavior. In reality, drug addiction is a complex disease.
Why they are using drug? If they are using drug, this is just a symptom of the problem. Suppose one reason is the parenting, very much lack of parenting. There is so many examples. He frustrated, bad companion. Influenced by the bad guys. I want to be like that also. Some parents have an alcoholic problem. Some parents have a divorce. So nobody cares to him. Nobody can love to him. And he has all the time emptiness inside their heart, in his mind. And they need pleasure.
Actually, I started taking drugs at the age of 13 or 14. I was really unconscious. I never knew what was happening around me. I was shocked and amazed. I was still living my life in depression. My family split, my dad and mom got divorced and all. I was kind of, got into depression and all. I never had friends. All this loneliness, everything killed me inside.
My friend and me going to other friend house, and they are using this sort of drugs. Try to use drugs with my friends, but only for take some enjoyment.
One of my friend, offered me a drug.
When my dad passed away, then I was somehow alone. My mom was not with me. There was no one standing beside me. Then I used to get hurt. And then my friend, she was a user. Then she suggested me that if you really want to get out of this pain, then just try this. And then I used my choice of chemical.
I started drugs in the age of 13. I first started because of pleasure seeking.
So every day they will not get the drug easily. Every day they will not get the money. So they have to steal, they have to lie, they have to cheat.
Even I used to, make money by stealing things from my home. Selling my own goods, my stuffs. I never used to be at my home. Just came home, asked for the money, or to go to something and just go away. I used my hands. I just paid my grandmother. I made her cry.
If I don't have money, I have to rob another people, yeah, and I have to tell lie, yeah. I really don't want to do that, but the drugs, it makes you to do those things.
When I use that drug, I only think for drug only. I can't think any more things to use drugs. I spend a lot of money, and while I spend the money, my money was spent. All money was spent. And what I have to do? I'm trying to steal my family's like stuffs, like phones, like my mother's money, dad's money.
I never thought that my mother had struggled in any way. She took lots of years to get this one diamond ring, but I spent that diamond ring on only 2 days, not for my family, but for my friends, for myself, for my selfishness. I did those things last time. I used to steal money from my dad's pocket, from my brother's pocket. Nothing was. I had a bracelet, I had a ring, I had a chain. I stole everything. I had nothing except my body.
While I'm using drug, I used to tell lies to my family. I used to ask money for them. For the one thing, to use a drug.
The impact of addiction can be far-reaching. Disease like stroke, cancer, HIV/AIDS, hepatitis, and lung disease can all be affected by drug abuse. Some of these effects occur when drugs are used at high doses or after prolonged use. However, some may occur after just one use. Explicit laws on drug abuse exist in every nation. Some nations have very hard laws and sentences. You can spend a lifetime in jail.
Yeah, maybe he has to go to the police custody because of the drug. He has to be in jail. I have seen really such a people who is abandoned from the family, so he will get the physical disease like skin disease, might be TB. If he's using so much alcohol, he will have a liver problem. Okay, psychological problem. Some of them go to the mental sickness also. So a lot of problem he has to face.
There was lots of problem, and it was not for only once. I used to run away from my home. My family, they used to be searching for me the whole night, whole month, or for a whole week. My family suffered a lot because of me, but still today I'm suffering is like my reality. I am afraid of going in front of people and just exposing me myself, because I have been really a black sheep for everyone, from my family, from my from my society. I've been a black sheep because of my addiction. And other consequences, I've got lots of physical problems. Still today my leg doesn't work properly. I've got breathing problem and all. That's what my physical consequences. I was no control over myself. I used to feel very pity on myself. I thought that my life was worthless. I thought I destroyed everything. Everything has just finished. So I wanted to just get away from everything, and to get away, I many times thought of committing suicide. I've got one friend who's suicide, and I've got lots of friends who died because of overdose.
I've been in jail for 3 years, in custody too many times. Yeah, even I can't count.
So when I came to AA, no house, no money, no job, no girlfriend, no family. My daughter, she's in AA, she's in NA, my daughter. She gets high, yeah? Gets hot shot, dead.
In that time I have lost lots of things. I have lost lots of things. Like my money, my family's love for me, and my friends, my neighborhoods, my society. They all are hating me because I'm using drugs. And I lost my study also. I lost my music also. I'm really related in music. But while I using that drug, I lost my music also. And my study also. I can't study because I'm using that drug.
I already got lots of friends. My friends were also far from myself. They were like, I was staying alone, I was using alone. The most painful thing in my life is that I still feel guilty for those things.
And what I gain is hate, ego, anger, resentment, physical torture, mental torture, pain, trouble, my family, relation towards my family, towards my society, and most importantly, I lost my future and career.
I feel very upset, frustration, tension, all came together when I think about that days. When I was starting drugs, my dad didn't talk with me up to 9 years. I went to police custody 3-4 days in a week. And my mom was also very worried of my habits. She wanted to make free from drugs. My little brother was dead. Yeah. He was also a drug user. He was, because of overdose, he passed away.
Quitting takes more than good intentions or a strong will. In fact, because drugs change the brain in ways that foster compulsive drug abuse, quitting is difficult, even for those who are ready to do so.
Yeah, it is very much hard to quit drug. It's not easy. Okay? One is physical. Okay? Once they come to in the center, so they are sick, they are withdrawal, so they will have an emotional problem for a couple of months. They will be hyperactive, they can't stable, they can't adjust in the treatment center. Once you want to stop, if he did not get the drug, then he will start to get sick. Okay, so muscles cramp, I told you it's vomiting, watering eye, mood swing, irritating, anger. Okay, just in the craving, in the drug.
I have tried 15 years to stop drugs, but I can't. Still, I'm in that process.
It was powerful, and I was powerless. I was powerless in front of it. I could do nothing in front of it. For me, if my drug is here and my family is here, I obviously used to choose my drug. There are lots of pain. Even I can't explain those pain.
6 months, I get sober, I get high. So, take me 5 years to get sober.
It's so hard. Drugs is using me. I can't do anything when I'm not using that drug. Without using drugs, I can't do anything, any sort of works. When I'm not using that drugs, it's really hard. I can't go hither and thither while I'm not using. I don't want to speak with my family. Like I don't want to go from one room to another room.
Few months after, again I was relapsed. Yet I was very too much hooked in drugs.
As I take drug, it is really hard for me to quit it. So, without drug, I was like abnormal person, like a mad person, Without drug, I cannot do anything. Without drug, I cannot go anywhere. Without drug, I cannot visit any place. Without drug, I cannot do either a small thing, either a big thing. I cannot do without drug.
But when I came to now 6 days, I cannot sleep properly. No sleep, no eating at all. I cannot eat anything. If I eat anything, I get vomit. That I cannot tell myself it's really hard over it to take relief from the drug. I'm feeling so stand properly. When I stand, my legs they began to shake. My backbone, this bone marrow, all this knee, this headache, this common cold, cough. Now you can see as my sound also and some common cold over here. It's really hard to stop drugs. In sickness, it's really hard to cut the period of sickness.
You may wonder if you're really ready for all that change or if you have what it takes to quit. It's okay if you're torn. Recovering from addiction is a long process, one that requires time, commitment, motivation, and support. The sooner people seek help for drug addiction problems, the more chances they have of gaining control of their life once again. However, abstinence is the safest way to live a longer and healthier life. The biggest and toughest step toward recovery is the very first one, deciding to make a change.
This is Geshe Sonam. Geshe Sonam is doing work at rehabs throughout the Nepal, throughout the Kathmandu area. And he visits rehabs and gives classes and is fundamentally introducing the concepts of Tibetan Buddhism into the recovery, into the rehabs, as a methodology to help addicts recover. And one of the tenets of Tibetan Buddhism is compassion, altruistic intention, which I guess in the West would be called love. And Geshe Sonam is an example of Buddhism alive in these rehabs, where he's helping drug addicts and alcoholics to get sober.
When you're struggling with drug addiction, sobriety can seem like an impossible goal. But recovery is never out of reach, no matter how hopeless your situation seems. Change is possible with the right treatment and support, and by addressing the root cause of your addiction. Don't give up, even if you've tried and failed before. The road to recovery often involves bumps, pitfalls, and setbacks, but by examining the problem and thinking about change, you're already on your way.
People use drugs and it's possible to be in recovery. You just quit drugs. There's a treatment centers. You go ask help. There's always ask for help. You need to go. Recovery is really possible. Being in recovery is really possible. Being in recovery does not mean quitting drugs. It's just not quitting drugs. Drug is not our problem. It's neither your problem, neither anyone's problems. Drug itself is a problem, but recovery is really possible.
And I take a suggestion from my friend. Now what can I do now? What I'm gonna do now? And he says, you have to take a little bit treatment, like in rehabilitation centers.
Now I want to enjoy my life without using drugs. And I want to see the beautiful parts of my life because I'm just 18.
Now I'm in rehabilitation center. Now it is like my reincarnation. I'm here to be a good guy, to correct my life.
So there's always so many different things drug users can do when they quit drugs. They can help people quitting drugs. They can work in a society as a social service.
I feel really happy. It's awesome, without taking drugs. I'm simply happy the way I am today.
Now I'm happy now. I can do anything by not using that drug. So I feel really good nowadays. Now I think when I take this treatment in rehabilitation center, I think all my what I've done bad things in few days ago, I think by this treatment, by these rehabilitation centers, that things are gonna be right, I think.
I'm far from my choice of chemical. I'm enjoying a happy life. Today I choose my family. I'm happy with my family. I try my best to be best. I try to be a successful person. I try to be clean, sober. Now I want to go in a clear way. I want to go in a straight way. I want to be real clear about my life. I want to see what the actual life is without using the drugs.
I hope after the treatment I gonna spend my life without drug, okay, being involved in social work, being involved with family, and most importantly, just by not using a drug, I would do, and I would definitely do things which previously I cannot do without taking a drug.
What I am going to say that please be responsible yourself. Okay, whatever it comes to in your mind, the difficult situation, please open up with your family, with your best friend. Okay, try to solve the psychological problem, your emotional problem, your stress. So, where is your will, there is your way. Okay, drug is not the solving the problem, it's create the more problem. Okay, if you want to be a good guy, one day you will not become a good guy. Okay, it's a process. And don't give up to go through the process to be a good guy.
Open up yourself, throw out every feelings. Unless and until you don't throw out your bad feelings, you can never put up the good feelings on your mind, on your heart. So the first thing you need to do is throw out your bad things, so that you can put good things in your mind. You know, that's very necessary. And for those people who have never used drugs, don't even try that. Don't even try that. That's not a solution.
Especially for young girls or female users, I would love to say them like, we female, we are like very sensitive gender. If we do a small mistake can ruin our whole life, and taking drugs is the worst mistake we can ever do. That do not do drugs because it spoil you, your family, and everything you've got.
In our family, in our society, in our town, whoever our family member, they all will be angry with us because drugs is very harmful for us. Don't do drugs. Don't use drugs.
I audit now. Those people love me. I audit my family. I audit my friends. I audit myself. And I just want to tell every people that when you are alone, never think that you are alone, because you are there for yourself. Try your best. Don't ever use this.
Always, if anybody asks you, offer you, or say just come to take a drug, just think. Just try to avoid the drug, because it will make your life very hard.
Drug is not a solution. We found pleasure in this, but this is not a pleasure. It will lost your health, your life, your family, everything. Drug will kill everything.
A supervisor. Before I used to be a public enemy. Now I'm giving service to public, and I feel very high on this. Especially being bad is very easy, but being good is very difficult. When I was a bad gangster, I used to think that I'm a very strong guy. But today I know that that was an old lie of me. Today I want to be a good. So all the teenagers, brother, sister, please don't abuse the drugs, alcohol. I've been late because my mom, she passed away, and I want to be a good guy right now. But my mom, she want to see me a good guy before she passed away. But I'm a failure, sir. I'm already late. I don't want all those younger brother and younger sister to be late. Take me as an example. So many things are very beautiful in this world. If your eyes are, if your brains are, if your thoughts are beautiful.
Tashi Dele, everyone. I'm working in rehabilitation center, people who are using drugs. I've been working in rehabilitation about 4 years. I saw these people who are using drugs have been so much suffering, so much pain, so much difficulty. So I was very sad. I'm so sad to see these difficulties. So I try to help them, but it's very difficult to help them. Very, very difficult to quit the drugs. So then what I thought, if you use drug, it's very difficult to quit, and you will get so much bad things. So if it's very easy to use drugs, so I want youngsters who never use drugs, they should not use drugs. So I thought the best way, we can make a document and show them how difficult if you use drugs. So people who listen this document, please think before you use drugs. If you use drugs, what will happen? What you want to be, you will never be. What you don't want to be, you will be. What you want to get, you will never get. What you don't want to get, you will get. What you want to do, you cannot do. What you don't want to do, you have to do. Inside, you will be so much tension, so much guilty, so much depression, anger. You will be always in a depression, sad. So please, you will waste your life, wonderful life. So please, this life is very, very wonderful, meaningful. So use this life as meaningful life. Please don't use drugs.